I watched a pre-code Hollywood movie called Frisco Jenny.
Yeah?
It was directed by our buddy William Wellman, who did A Star Is Born.
Yeah. All right.
I don't want to talk about that movie, though.
Oh, well, I'm glad you brought it up then.
I don't know when the word Frisco fell out of fashion. Apparently, Californians don't like it anymore. And if you say it, they think you're some kind of rube.
Yeah.
You're supposed to say San Fran. That's just stupid.
I personally say Oakland and the Oakland area.
It's like saying, oh, you can't call it Vegas anymore. You have to call it Las Vegas.
I have an uncle who served in Viet. Sorry, something just happened with my brain. I was thinking about that lunch I had. Now I just can't go back to reality.
Unboxing. That's what this show is called, and that is what we do. This is the show where we thank our donors. People go to welcometothebasementshow.com and contribute to our show. And we also open our mail. But first, a partial list of our donors. Now, I don't want you to do your little jiving around over there while I'm doing these to distract me. Marie. Marie, Scott, Mario, Michael, Jennifer, Ann, T.A., Samuel, Maura, Melanie, Abigail, Shannon, Brian, Kelsey, Michael, Emily, Alfred, Roger, and Patrick. The rest of our donors later in the show. We'll start with questions. We'll mix it up.
Yeah, okay. Jesse Filer writes, what film location would you most like to visit that you have not already? The location of the final fight scene in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which is the ancient city of Petra. It's this temple or something that's just been carved into a cliff, and I've always wanted to go there.
I've got a little non-movie related question here. Benas Gedvilas writes, what is the best sauce? Thai peanut sauce. When it's made well, it's a perfect blend of sweet, spicy, and savory. It's almost a sauce you could eat by itself. You could just eat it by the spoonful. Our buddy Jason Stevens once had an idea of taking spicy Thai peanut sauce and putting it over vanilla ice cream. I think that's a great idea.
Has he done that?
I don't think so, and I haven't done it either, but someone should.
My favorite sauce is a bolognese. You can also just eat it straight because it's meat and vegetables.
Because it's got meat in it.
Yeah. My wife will put it on salad and kale.
How about some postcards?
I will accept.
Patrick says, hello from Plant City, Florida.
Where they have dinosaurs.
Guanji. This is addressed to you. Ran across some postcards featuring images by acclaimed photographer William Eggleston, and I thought to myself, who do I know that truly appreciates both postcards and modern art? It is from Thomas, Alpha Fan, Epley.
Alpha Fan. Thank you, T.A.
Paul sends us this postcard with a funny cartoon on there. There's Darth Vader and a young Luke Skywalker. It is too late for me, my son. But Dad, you said we could stay up and watch a movie. Paul asks, what movie do you think Luke made dear old Dad watch?
You know, probably The Lion King. Which will be weird because, like, that man sounds just like me. That's my nightmare movie as a father. I really hope that the boy does not find The Lion King because I hate The Lion King. Sorry, people slightly younger than me.
This is from Stephen Heron, who says, I'm just about to finish my first year of studying filmmaking at Champlain College, home of the most beautiful sunsets in the world.
Oh, down in Illinois, not too far from here.
Thanks for making insomnia-riddled nights easier. He's too busy staying up thinking about those sunsets.
Yes. Will there be another one tomorrow?
Ollie continues his trip around the world. I have made it to Pitcairn Island, resting place of the Bounty and its mutineers. There have been 4 movie adaptations of the Bounty Mutiny. Have you seen any? I've seen 2 of them. I saw the Mel Gibson, Anthony Hopkins one, and I saw the one with Charles Laughton and Clark Gable?
Yes.
Pitcairn Island. And lastly, this Whitefish, Montana postcard from Sean Henry, who says, crossing the U.S. by train from Seattle to Chicago on the Empire Builder, then on to Kalamazoo, Michigan for a conference. Hope you have a good conference, Sean.
I've always wanted to take the Empire Builder out to Seattle. That's supposed to be one of the most beautiful railroad experiences you can have.
Sometimes I think it would be so great to be a professor. College professor, because it's your own thing. Mm-hmm. You know, you're not a high school teacher where you're bound by all this Common Core bull crap.
Yeah.
You can just do whatever you want. You can shape these young...
Okay, never mind. I get what you're saying.
Now is the time in the show when we look back at our vast back catalog of episodes and we recommend one for you to check out or re-watch. What do you got?
One of my favorites is our Romeo and Juliet episode. Valentine's Day of Season 4. It's an odd episode because I know not just the movie, but the play really well. I wasn't at the top of my game. I was on the top of a different game.
And it also features one of my favorite Wayne Dorrington graphics, Thou Tube. There it is again. Unfortunately, when Christopher Lee showed up, the last unicorn was sacrificed to the Wicker Man.
America? So they've gone through the desert on a unicorn with no name now.
Up to me, the purple dawn.
This song is really touching my heart. Yeah, I think I need some Malox.
Yeah.
Walking man's road.
Walking mantle? Looks like Mickey got 4 balls. He'll be walking today. Mantle walks.
And generally mistaken for a white mare.
And we all know that white mares be trippin'.
Say my name, then.
Say my name.
There's never been a spell on me before.
Oh, I know exactly how.
Whoa, hey, hey.
Keep your poor shadows, if you will, but let me go.
Let them strut and fret their hour upon the stage. I'll do some magic for you to entertain you. Schmendrick has yet to meet Aleister Crowley, who will teach him erotic sex magic. And he casts a spell, and it makes all of these ghosts appear.
He summons Robin Hood.
You were touched by those rays, you just lost a level.
But a tree is love.
I think Tolkien needed some sexy ents.
There is nothing that I can look at for very long.
Because of my astigmatism. Because of my cataracts. Because of my glaucoma. Options.
She never speaks to me, Molly. Not a word in all this time.
If you only had some sort of flying disc that you could throw.
That's all I've got to.
Push.
Everything dies.
Maybe that's a fact, but maybe everything that dies someday comes back.
Well, they blew up the unicorn in Philly last night.
You are a true wizard now, as you always wished. Does it make you happy?
Well,
No, the only thing that would make me happy is you and all your kind in the ocean.
In the mail, we often receive records, and when we get records, I listen to them. So I listen to Metallica's and Justice for All. Metallica and I have a complicated relationship.
Yeah? Were you their therapist?
Not that complicated. It's 1983, 84 maybe. My brother Dale comes home from high school, and he announces that he's into heavy metal now.
That day, it happened.
It seemed to happen just in one day.
Yeah, it's like being born again.
This was in a time when the media was constantly telling everyone that heavy metal led to Satanism and suicide.
Because it did, all over the place.
So this made me nervous, and I hated the music from the get-go. As you get more mature, you realize that heavy metal is a wide tapestry of different kinds of music, and one by one you start to get into things. You start to realize that Black Sabbath, that's basically classic rock. That's not heavy metal. You finally listen to an AC/DC album from front to back, and you say, these guys are amazing! You get into theater, and then you see the theatrics of Iron Maiden. It's like, this is like opera with guitars. But I never latched on to that really fast, aggressive American style of heavy metal, your Megadeths, your Slayers, your Metallicas. So I listened to And Justice for All, an album that I listened to many, many times under protest in my brother's room.
Maybe he didn't want you there, Matt.
I like the way the music kind of pummels you. The cons. It's so bleak. Every second of this album is full of despair. And this is long. This is 2 LPs. The shortest song is 5 minutes and 12 seconds long. And so it's just relentless.
Read off the song titles there.
I'll just read from side 3 and 4. The Shortest Straw, Harvester of Sorrow, The Frayed Ends of Sanity, To Live is to Die, Dyer's Eve. It's bleak stuff. And I understand they are not making pop songs. They're not making songs for the well-adjusted, cool kids. They're making songs for the kids who are angry and kids who are sad. But I'm not one of those people, and I don't want to live there.
It's not talked about enough the emotional outlet that heavy metal is. Even
Right.
death metal, which just seems so brutal. It's like it forces emotion to come out of you, and it allows rage and this, it sounds like sorrow, which men are generally not allowed to show.
I know that for a lot of people, this aggression is comforting. Also, technically, the mix for this, they had just hired a new bass player because their other bass player died. A bus fell on him. Jason Newsted, and they hired him, and then they decided they didn't really like him.
So they had to find another bus.
No, they just took all of his bass out of the mix. So there's almost no bass in this. And the bass is there for a reason in rock and roll. So the songs sound a little thin.
Yeah,
even though they're just hammering. And I'm definitely going to keep it around because as soon as we watch a courtroom drama, it's going back there.
Metallica, or as our Spanish friends say, Metallica.
And now the Ford Report. My quest to watch 13 movies by legendary grizzled filmmaker in 2018 continues. Cue the music. The movie I watched was How Green Was My Valley.
Ah,
Have you seen it?
yes, I just watched it last year.
This is one of his more famous movies, I think. The novel it's based on is considered by many to be one of the greatest novels ever written. I didn't care for this. I found it very stiff and very formal and a bit dull.
It has a great burden put on top of it because of its notoriously beat a movie for Best Picture, and that movie was Citizen Kane. So it's never going to live up to that, but no movie is going to.
I think this might be the first performance of Roddy McDowall.
And Roddy McDowall in this movie.
Yeah.
The universe is in his eyes.
Master Roddy McDowall, as he is billed, and he's probably the best part of this movie.
It's in black and white if you're hoping for a really green movie.
It is in black and white, and I want to talk about the photography.
Yeah.
Since this is a memoir, a lot of the images have this really kind of shimmery quality, as if the whole thing is awash in the glow of nostalgia. Mm-hmm. But at times, it gets to be too much, particularly on exterior shots in sunlight. The pictures sometimes take on this washed out, overexposed look.
Have we more donors?
Yeah. Why don't you read them?
All right. Shelby, Reed, John, Andrus, John, Lindsay, Anthony, James, Martha, Luke, David, Abraham, Michael, Robert, Eric, Kempson, Thomas, and Philip. Not so hard, Twitchy.
It was hard for me to do all that twitching.
Yeah, I know.
It's time for us to do some unboxing, finally.
We have art on that one.
Matt and Craig.
And there's a knife aimed at the sea.
We got a comet on here. We got a man with a crown on his head. Watching a movie since 2012. That's us. This is from Ben in Hartford, Connecticut. This time I've got records for Matt and a book for Craig. 2 DVDs and a quick question for both of you. They want to know our opinions on the meaning of life.
The movie?
Every time I watch it, I love it. Every time I think about it, I think it's kind of not very good.
It's cinematically their best movie. For 80% of it, favorite Python movie. Then there's 20% of it where I either tolerate it or I'm just straight up annoyed by it.
Live organ transplants. That's the worst part of the movie.
I'm fine with that.
I'm sorry, I did not know she was a racist. So there's some drawings here of us. This is from Allie, his sister. There we go. There's you. There's me. There's the show. Look at these records. The Cars, Panorama. Steely Dan, The Royal Scam. I think my copy of this has scratches on it, so I'm going to check this out. And Robert Plant, The Principle of Moments.
Robert Plant and I share a birthday. Not the same year.
Blazing Saddles, which I have. So.
Oh, hey, excellent. He rode a blazing saddle.
And here's a modern classic, Apollo 13.
Oh, yes. Ron Howard.
I'd love to watch that again.
His finest.
And the book that Ben has sent you, Stanislaw Lem's Solaris.
Ooh, I've been curious about this book, and here it is. You can judge a lot by a first line.
Ooh, yeah.
At 1900 hours ship's time, I made my way to the launching bay.
It's okay.
Kind of formal, kind of...
Probably more exciting in the original Russian.
Patrick in Ventura, California. He gave us a couple of soundtracks from movies that we have watched on the show. Ba-na-na-na-na.
Nice.
Man with the Golden Arm and the Man with the Golden Legs, Saturday Night Fever. This is as performed by the Bay Ridge Band.
Who are the Bay Ridge Band?
You're about to find out, Sloan. Why would I want to hear the Bee Gees singing these classic Bee Gees songs? At this point in my life, where my dad and I have become two distinct people, he's very traditional and down to earth, while I'm more free-spirited and willing to try things. That's a great concept for a movie. We still love one another. Over the past few years, he's been sharing his love of 70s and 80s rock with me. He introduced me to some of the greats, including Jefferson's Starship.
Red Octopus. See if I recognize any of these. Fast Buck Freddy. That should be my nickname.
If there's ever an early 70s song title, Fast Buck Freddy. Grace Slick has to be one of the most underrated singing talents of all time. Just listen to Fast Buck Freddy and you'll see what I mean. He also has passed on a couple of poems by a man with the same name as he has. Best wishes to Cecil, Tona, and little Lorenzo. Mad and Craig too, I guess.
Ghazal of the Dark Dawn. Thundering cries of a small black brick. I slip away from that sublime realm, heeding the call of 7 a.m.
This is probably well past their acid phase, and they're still writing titles like that.
That's the poem.
Oh.
That's not the record. This concludes unboxing. Did you like it? Yeah, you know you did. You can see the next episode of Welcome to the Basement. It will come out this coming Friday. Man, I'm a mushmouth suddenly. You can watch the next episode of Welcome to the Basement, which will come out this coming Friday. And now, take a look at this.
I remember when I first had pesto.
Yeah.
I've never had anything like this in my life, and it's changed. This has changed me as a man to eat this food. And then, after a few years, it just became a different sauce.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I'll ever be able to get that back. My pesto realization, like so much of youth.
It'll happen.
It will?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Are we rolling?
Rolling.